people, CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 14 of Ghost Trick Phantom Detective. Last time, we went to the phone lines to the kidnappers' hideout. We found out that Beauty and Dandy kidnapped Kamila, who is in all actuality Jowd's daughter, and not the Justice Minister's. So now we have to go and solve this mystery. We have to find out why Kamila was captured. But Kamila, why do they have Kamila? I know that she has a body count in the thousands, and that she committed countless war crimes during the Gulf War. But why would they kidnap her? Because Kamila is a war criminal. Kamila, don't let her small size and innocent demeanor fool you. She has committed war crimes and atrocities against humanity. Her father isn't the stupid old justice minister. I think the stupid old part is a little uncalled for. Well, what is that outfit supposed to be? He's like some deformed he's like some cheap knockoff nutcracker. He's like some sort of he looks like he would be perfectly in place in some sad B-grade production of the Nutcracker Ballet. The poor girl kidnapped for the ransom of her own father's execution. It's just too much. It's a cruel twist of fate, I agree. And then there are those other twists too, like the kidnappers winding up and then using Kamila's old house as their hideout. There's no way it could be just a coincidence. And them sensing my presence. They seem to know about the powers of the dead. That or just Beauty has a sixth sense. She just can sense the presences of ghosts. She doesn't know what they're doing, but they're just there, watching. Always watching. I just don't understand any of it. I told you before, Detective. Just because I wear this does not mean I am a fan of the Nutcracker Suite. I want you to stand back. Who cares at this time like this? Look, Mr. Minister, it wasn't your daughter that was kidnapped. Don't try to pretend you didn't hear what we were saying. Ah! How can I believe you? I'm a realist. Please! If you don't believe what we say, see for yourself. Just call home and... I tried calling 100 times. My wife won't answer. She's busy writing stories that portray me as impotent while she does the gardener. I knew Emily didn't look like me. I knew she wasn't mine. I had my suspicions, but I just wrote them off. But now I'm starting to have doubts. She won't. It's complicated. Oh, why does life have to be such a complicated thing? But if she doesn't answer, doesn't that mean everything's normal? It doesn't prove it. And I'm being watched. I can't have the police go check on for me. Besides, if the execution isn't carried out tonight, the hostage will be killed. What difference does it make? That's not my daughter. Hoo-wee, that's quite a pickle. Mr. Minister, quite a pickle. That's right, I've been standing here for the past 10 minutes, just waiting for my perfect moment. Miss me, baby? Inspector Cabanela! I have a little report for you, Mr. Minister. The escaped prisoner has been apprehended, though you might like to see him, so here he is. Detective Jowd? Detective Jowd, I'm so sorry I tried. I know that you're innocent. I just can't prove it. I'm so sorry. Lynn, please, don't apologize to me. Ah, the beautiful love between a teacher and student. It brings a tear to my eye. Who can destroy such a touching and heartfelt relationship? I could. Just Jowd and Lynn are hugging. They're having this reunion. Lynn, they're both crying, and then Cabanela just comes in between them with the crowbar and pries Jowd off of Lynn. Lynn! And then Jowd just lands in this cage. Just lands in some cage.
You knew, didn't you, Inspector Cabanela, that the execution was tonight?
Who do you think scheduled it? I don't believe I had any obligation to tell you.
And you're fine with this? I mean, you know as well as I do.
Excuse me.
Detective Jowd could never have done such a thing.
Ha ha ha! Oh, come on now, baby. I know no such thing.
Huh?
I know two things to be true, and two things only. One, he has been given the death penalty, and two, he tried to escape. And three, he hijacked a police cruiser on the way out of the prison and ran over 5 children, including his daughter. What else can I do but haul him in, baby?
If that's the case, why did you bring him here?
What else? It's my victory lap. Whatever do you mean, young lady?
He escaped from prison, right? So why didn't you just take him back to the prison? I think you only brought him here to brag about your accomplishment. Isn't that right, Inspector? For your own selfish reasons.
That's right, Lynn, baby. This is where I left my jukebox last week. And then basically, Cabanela, he just walked by the minister's desk. Excuse me, minister. He then grabs a boombox, and he clicks it on, and he starts playing Celebrate Now. Celebrate good times. Come on. I will.
So were all those rumors about you true? That the only thing you care about is a spotless record? Is that more important to you than saving a friend?
Everybody has certain principles they can't go back on, including me. I love how they just all forgot that Lynn is technically at this point still a wanted criminal. Cabanela, he's just not caring. You'll understand that someday, baby. That's enough, Lynn.
But Detective Jowd!
I'm a death row inmate who escaped from prison. This is how it should be.
But...
Let's talk to Jowd, see what he has to say. So, Mr. Ghost, we meet again. I hear something happened. Something about kidnapping? Some kidnappers are saying they abducted the Justice Minister's daughter. That's terrible. What's the demands? The carrying out of your execution tonight. I had no idea I was so hated. But the minister doesn't have to worry. I died and it's all over. Very simple.
It's not that simple!
Why not? I love how Jowd is in no way concerned that Lynn is also in this hellscape. And that she died 4 times. One of which the murder machine.
Because it really isn't the minister's daughter who got kidnapped. It's Kamila.
What? Kamila? I checked it out for myself. I'm positive. No, it can't be! Do they not know the danger they're in? Kamila has killed before, and she will kill again! Oh, those fools! Oh, please tell me that they at least have her hands restrained. No, they don't have her hands restrained. They're goners, those fools! She's gonna kill them all! She snapped 4 guys' necks while not even winking! It was like a bloodbath! I love how just I'm paying Kamila out to be this mastermind criminal. And by the way, Kamila told me something very interesting. She said the one who killed her mother 5 years ago was Kamila herself.
What are you talking about?
Don't listen to him! I'm the one who shot her! I'm the one who shot Alma! It's my fault that Kamila could not drag out that vial sulfuric acid! She can snap a guy's neck, no issue, but big tub of sulfuric acid, that's where she starts to stumble and throw out the little girl card. And when I'm executed tonight, that will be the end of it. Kamila won't have to suffer any more after tonight. For a capable detective, you say some incredibly misguided things. You dying isn't going to end that girl's suffering. It'll bring her new suffering. The only person's pain this execution is going to ease is yours.
Is that true, what Kamila said?
Why don't you tell us what you know? To be honest, I still don't understand what happened that day. It was my wife, Alma's birthday. Came from work, and she went in first. Lynn was on the phone earlier that day asking if she could have a cookie before dinner. Alma said no, because Kamila needed to save room for her vegetables. But Kamila wouldn't listen. Kamila wasn't having any of that. Man! What was that noise? Kamila, no, not again! I looked for the shooter, but there was nobody to be found. I knew Kamila had claimed another life. First she killed the mailman, then she killed her mother. There was nobody there besides Alma and Kamila, just the two of them. So the little lady's mother died right in front of her.
Oh my, that's so horrible.
Kamila told me about it. She was crying. She said that the contraption she made did something it wasn't supposed to. Made an impossible move.
An impossible move?
Powers of the dead. It's been 5 years since then. I stopped thinking about it. I shot Alma. There's no other explanation. That's why I've convinced everyone, even me. But tonight, you showed up and gave me an explanation I never would have thought of before. The powers of the dead, right? That day in that room, powers that I didn't understand were at work. And if that's the case, it clears up all of the mysteries.
Maybe not all, but there are a couple of other people who know about those powers. Is somebody there? Can you hear me? I can sense your presence, you know.
The kidnappers who abducted Kamila knew about those powers. This is no ordinary kidnapping. It looks like my wife's case isn't coming to an end after all. I'm the only one who thought it was.
Detective Jowd!
There's still time before dawn, a little anyways. How about you see this case through to the end before you die? An impossible move. Kamila was a quiet little girl, but she was good with her hands. She could dismember a cat in less than she could debone a cat in less than 5 minutes. She was a little genius at making elaborate toys and contraptions. She had made countless murder machines that she sold on the black market. But there were two very strange points about that contraption.
The first was, of course, the firing of the gun.
Right, that was an antique gun I had on display for years that I kept fully loaded for some odd reason. So it wasn't part of the little lady's original design.
Of course it wasn't. It was supposed to be a surprise for her mother's birthday.
Oh, she gave a surprise, all right. She gave a nice little bullet that she wrapped in her mother's gut. And the other strange point was the movement of that Cupid.
Cupid?
It was supposed to shoot its arrow without turning around. Somebody made a change to the contraption's design and then manipulated it.
I don't know what to say.
I didn't have time to think about things then. All I knew was I had to protect Kamila, because I knew that if she was in prison, she'd just kill all the guards and escape anyways. I made a small adjustment to the scene and turned myself in.
Adjustment to the scene? What kind of adjustment?
The gun, of course.
The gun, eh? Come to think of it.
There was no gun there, just a picture hanging on the wall. Of course not, because I had secretly switched the gun out of the frame with that picture. I didn't believe what she told me about her contraption, but one thing was for certain. That gun was still smoking.
So the gun really did shoot Alma.
I hid the gun before I went to the police.
You hid it?
I put it in a wooden box and gave it to a certain detective. That's right, Lynn, you are now an accessory to murder.
Oh, great, now I'm an accessory to murder. What, you mean?
And that detective still thinks it's a music box.
So that's what was in the box, huh?
I got a different murder weapon ready to give to the police, my own pistol. And I did a few other things to make it look good. I won't go into the details. Okay, big question. what about the ballistic markings? I swear, ballistic markings should have come up as a big thing. Had Phoenix Wright have been there, those ballistic markings would have came right out. We would have gotten a tutorial for what ballistic markings are, that they're the fingerprint of the gun. They wouldn't have matched the bullet of Jowd's gun, and Jowd would have been screwed. Jowd got what ballistic markings are. When it was all done, I turned myself in. Head back.
Detective Jowd, is what you told us really true?
Yes, of course.
In that case, there's still time.
Still time?
The time to solve that case, that started 5 years ago. You didn't do it, Detective Jowd, and of course, little Kamila didn't do it either.
That's what you think, Lynn. Yeah, you look under Camilla's bed, Lynn's apartment. She has an entire armory. She has 4 AK-47s. She has a bazooka. She has some hand grenades. She has a Bowie knife that she keeps in her dress.
So the true perpetrator's still out there, and I'm gonna prove it for Kamila's sake.
That sounds wonderful.
Thank you, Detective Jowd.
Lynn, where's that music box now?
It's in Temsic Park. Kamila left it there.
That guy's important evidence. You better go pick it up.
Yes, sir. I'll do it right now. Sizzle, take care of Detective Jowd.
But I love how Cabanela and no one else is searching for Lynn, apparently. No, they're not trying to arrest Lynn for Sizzle's murder.
And do something about the kidnappers so we can get kidnapped, so we get the minister on our side.
And yet again, I say, easy enough for you to say. Sorry. Had the hiccups. Click on that. What's going on? Deal me the deal, Mr. Death Row inmate. A little change of plans. My daughter's been kidnapped. I can't just go off to die without doing something. But you're in our custody, don't you forget. Back at the prison, everybody's waiting for you with a special seat just for you, baby. No sponge. And if you come willingly, we'll give you the sponge. That's right. We were originally not going to give you the sponge because you're such a heartless monster, but we decided to compromise. We're not animals. We're not like you, Jowd. Then I guess we'd better prove my innocence on the double. On the double, is it? You sound so determined, my old friend. I want to save Kamila in more ways than one. And that's all there is to it. I see, my old friend, in more ways than one. What say you, Mr. Minister? May we have your decision? Should the execution be carried out tonight as planned? Or should we hold off and wait for this important evidence to come in? The order still stands! Screw you, Jowd! You want me to indicted us for last week! Bring the prisoner back immediately and resume its enforcement! And don't give him the sponge! The kidnappers were very explicit. They said, no sponge for him! As you wish, Your Excellency. Please, don't bow down to me, and especially not that low! In that case, can I have one of your boys arrange a prison van to pick him up? Would you be so kind? Yes, sir! Yeah, I love how Cabanela just keeps a chair with him at all times. Just so he can lounge back. The van should take about 10 minutes, I'm guessing. Your escape tonight was brilliant. Will you show me another miracle in these last few minutes of yours, Mr. Death Row inmates? Okay, we have to now head out. No, cancel. We gotta go to the phone and we have to go save Amelie from her mother, who's writing her romance novels. Okay. Luxury junkyard, no. Luxury parlor, no, not that. Ladies' red apartment. I love how it's red apartment. It's not just ladies' apartment. It's ladies' red apartment. As if it's like the Red Room. Just as I thought. This little girl is safe in her bed. Thanks, little girl. Now I'm coughing. Murder, execution, jailbreak, betrayal, and now kidnapping. The last link in the long chain of sad fate lit a fire in Jowd's heart. And the chance to turn it all around is right here in this room. I'm getting a strange premonition. Everything that happened so far tonight has relayed back to me in some way. And I bet this mistake-ridden abduction does too. Save your current time and place in time. No, we will not save. Continue playing, yes. Chapter 13, 12:51 p.m. I visit the novelist's apartment again. I'm hoping to be able to do something about this mistaken identity kidnapping. As long as there's any possibility that it could be his own daughter who was kidnapped. I doubt the Justice Minister will call off the execution tonight. The key to dispelling the minister's doubts is now in bed, coughing. And I need to use this key before the prison van arrives to pick up our death row inmates. I'm not doing the coughing. Stop coughing, little girl. This is my most holiest of nights. It's my deadline. My darling angel. Oh, just listen to that cough. You naughty little thing. Did you leave your nice warm bed to go out into the night to play? A daughter after my own heart. I must confess, I didn't even notice you were gone.
I didn't go out to play. I went to buy Papa a birthday present. He said he wanted a new lighter.
Well, that's no reason to go out this late at night.
But my fever finally went down. I could barely move that before that.
But look at what it brought you. Your fever's even worse than ever. Here's to my feverish passion of my darling angel.
Mama?
Yes, darling?
Let's call Papa and wish him a happy birthday, even though it's already past midnight.
Not tonight, Amelie.
I hate you. Your book's mediocre at best.
You little demon child. Take that back.
Your plots are trite.
It looks like this little girl was safe all along. Already knew that, but I'm still relieved all the same. And there's another lucky development too. Amelie wants to call her father. Now, if I could just make use of that feeling somehow, that would surely bring the Justice Minister around. Let's do this. Actually, no. I think actually now would be a good time to end things off. I know a little bit on the short side, but frankly, this is going to take some time, and I don't want it going on too long. So anyways, I really appreciate you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. Like, subscribe, comment, share, do everything mine. Without see you next time. Bye.